All right, on this week's weekly workout, we're going to be breaking down the rear leg roundhouse kick. In a lot of cases, it's going to be your most powerful kick. So you want to make sure you're doing it correctly so you can generate as much power as possible and spend as less energy as possible doing so. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, you start off in your stance just like you do anything else. Hands are up. Orthodox stance is going to be the left leg forward, right leg back, and ready for action. Chin is down. What we're going to do, we have to line the shin up. We are kicking with the shin, that part of the foot. So we have to line that shin up to the target. And the way that we do that is we step 45 degrees toward the front leg. So the step is going to look like this. So I'm in front of the target. I'm stepping 45 degrees to the left, like this. Now, when we step, we don't want to put that back foot down on the ground. We want to step and go right into the kick. And it looks like this. Step, kick, come back. One more time. Step, kick. Now, a couple details that are going to make the kick harder, that are going to help you with your balance also. So the first thing that's happening when I step, that foot that is planted on the ground, you want that heel to rotate toward the target. So it looks like this. If you guys can see my foot here, it looks like this. That heel rotates toward the target. So I'm going to put it together so you can see. I step, rotate. That allows you to kick through the target. That gives you a little bit more leverage when you're throwing that kick. Another thing that we want to make sure is happening is when the shin hits up, and I'm going to slow it down so you guys can see this. When the shin is hitting the target, the leg also straightens at the same time. So let's do it slow so you can see. So my shin is hitting the target, and while it hits, the leg straightens at the same time. That gives that kick a whipping effect on it. Really allows you to generate a lot of power and use less energy doing so. So let's put it together. I'll do it as slow as I possibly can. So here. So when that shin hits the target, the leg also straightens at the knee and comes back to your stance. Now, another detail that I want to add to this kick is a lot of times when we're throwing this kick, instinctively, we want to wave our arms for a couple of reasons. The first reason is to generate as much power. We want to whip our body toward the target, generate as much power as we possibly can. And secondly, it helps with your balance. Now, when I'm first teaching people this kick, I tell people to keep their hands up because I want them to understand the importance of keeping their hands up. But if I just kept my hands up here, it's going to feel a little awkward and it's going to be hard to really generate power doing so. So we do eventually want to get to the point where we are swinging our arms to generate power on that kick. But we have to do it in a defensive way. So a non-defensive way, the way not to do it, and this is the way that most people are inclined to throw the kick. They just kind of like that. That's the kind of swinging that you want that your arms automatically end up doing when you're throwing this kick. You can take that same swinging motion and do it in a defensive way and get the power generation that you're looking for, get the balance without putting yourself in a vulnerable situation to get countered by your opponent. So, doing it in a defensive way, I'm going to swing my arms like this and get that hand in front to block any type of threat coming from in front. I can also do it like this, bringing that hand to the side to protect the head. Both ways are good. And I think the difference between the two, I think if you're longer, most of your threats are going to be coming from the front. So you want that hand to be in front. And if you're shorter, most of your threats would be coming from around the side. So you want that hand off to the side. I'll demonstrate both for you guys. The first one, hand in the front, I step, boom, just like that. And the second one, hand on the side, I step, boom, just like that. Now, lastly, and this one is those kicks that are going to the midsection, the stomach area. When we are kicking, particularly the heavy bag, we want to look at that heavy bag like we're looking in the mirror. Now, if this heavy bag was a mirror image of me, the head would be here, the shoulders would be here, the elbows and the hips would be here, and then the legs would be down here. If I am attempting to position my shin in that stomach area, because I want to avoid the hips, hip bone, shin bone, hip bones are going to win. So I want to be above the hips in that stomach area. If I do not step to line that shin up and just kick over here, I'm going to be kicking in the hips. So that's why this step is important. That lines that shin up across the front of your opponent so that hard shin can hit soft stomach area. So when I step, boom, that shin lines up to the front and I'm hitting that soft stomach area. What I tell my students is that, and this is the kicks that are going to the midsection, the kicks that are going to the stomach. If when you kick the bag, the heavy bag, if the bag is going side to side, you're kicking hips. If the bag for the most part is going back to front, then you're kicking stomach. That's a good sign to tell you if you're kicking in the right spot or not. So from the top, hands are up. We step 45 degrees. We kick across the front. When the shin hits the target, the leg simultaneously straightens at the knee. Boom. And the last thing that I didn't mention, I kind of mentioned it, I brushed over it, is you want to put that foot back down into your stance ASAP. Remember, when you're throwing kicks, and this goes for all kicks, for the split second that kick is going up, hitting the target, you are on one foot. You're handicapped. There's nothing that you can do on one foot. So you always want to make sure that foot, that kicking leg, gets back down on the ground, back into your stance ASAP. You do not want to stall that time that foot is off the ground for any longer than it needs to be stalled. So get that foot straight down on the mat. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful for you. We'll see you next time. Coach Sully, Reps and Sweat, Frederick, Maryland. Let's get it.